Hey guys, welcome to The Gears Keep Turning. I am your host Zach, otherwise known as the Count Olaf, and we have a special episode for you guys today. And that is something that's weird and it's like near and dear to my heart, but also weird, unfamiliar territory, if that makes any sense. And that is Gears of War 4's life cycle is officially winding down. Now, what is that supposed to mean? Well, primarily what it means is that all the content that has been coming out, new skins, all the maps, pretty much everything that they wanted to accomplish with Gears of War 4 is done. They're getting ready for Gears 5, and this is now the chance for everything to move forward. And that is such a weird alien concept to me. And it's like, wait, what, Zach? What? How? What? Why is that like a weird alien concept to you? You played from Gears 2 to Gears 3 to Gears 3 to Gears Judgment to Gears Judgment to Gears 4. Yeah, but this is the first time we've had pretty much active development of a game for almost 3 years. Wow, that is so freaking weird because I'm so used to the idea of Gears 2, once all the map packs came out, that's Gears 2. There was not going to be any skins, there was not going to be any, dev streams where you can get more skins. Pretty much all the content at launch and then post-launch was for the year of the map packs. Once that's done, it's over. Same as with Gears 3. After that, there was always rumors, we're going to get one more map pack after, Forces of Nature or things like that. But mostly you would wait for the new game to come out, same as with Judgment and Gears 4. But here it's a little different because we've had a lot of skins and new content for almost 3 years. And that is so weird to me because normally you would get the game, you'd buy the map packs, and that was it. And the game would kind of fizzle out a little bit. Gears 2 at the end before Gears 3, no one was really playing it. Some people were getting on just well, I gotta play Gears 2 to really understand Gears 3 and all those mechanics. Same as with Gears 3 to Judgment. There's these weird things where they even talked about how, the game is still really actively played because there's always new content. And because you have this idea of a game that's been 3 years old, but now it's officially kind of ended. I guess it's the same thing as Counter-Strike Source, and that game's technically been in active development for 20 years, maybe? And it's well, they keep adding minor things, but technically the game is still being made. Back in the day, it was a little different. You would just wait for a game. It's a lot like the original trilogy for Star Wars. You'd have Star Wars, then The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi. Each one was a 3-year cycle. You had Star Wars in 1977, Empire Strikes Back in 1980, and then you had The Return of the Jedi in 1983. That was the same thing with Gears. There was always a 2 to 3 year life cycle. And we're kind of repeating that now, after the little bit of the Gears hiatus. It's such a quaint idea almost of getting content every week now. Because back in the day, once a game was done, well, you pretty much enjoyed it to the last drop until the next game came out. It's one of those things where we talk about the end of a lifestyle for Gears, which is, the life cycle is just about to end. And it's one of those things where it's almost it's sad to say goodbye because let's be a little honest here. Once Gears 5 comes out, Gears of War 4 will be dead. Which, might as well just take it out back and shoot it like Old Yeller. With the new Gilded ROM challenge, we have new people coming back because of the challenge is pretty much you gotta play campaign. That's a whole separate video. You gotta re-up to re-up 10. Okay. And then you have to get the 1,000,000 points in matchmaking. Okay, that's great. So we have new people coming in. And now we have kind of the old people also coming back just to get that Gears 5 unlock of ROM. Once ROM's unlocked and whatever miscellaneous things they have left, Gears of War 4 will quintessentially have a slow burn of a life support and then peter out. And it's one of those weird cynical things that we could talk about because it's happened to everything. Gears 1, good luck finding a match in Gears 1 or Gears UE. There are people that still play it. Don't get me wrong. Those are the people that love that game pretty much to its dying breath. As well as Gears 2 and Gears 3. And some people like Judgment, and not for me. But it's one of those things where you look at it and, the game slowly peters out. And it's almost it's a natural progression. There's always those people that's we have to keep playing this game. I always think about Halo 2 and when they were going to shut down the servers, the original time for the original Xbox, and people were playing, and this is how old it was, is that the X-Play from G4 would interview the people as they were slowly dying off because their Xboxes were just slowly melting because they had kept them on for so long. And it's kind of the same thing here. It's it's a natural progression to have in a game where, after a couple of years, a game like Gears 2 is now 10 years old. It's not that many people are playing it, and the people that do play it are very hardcore into Gears 2 or really hardcore into Gears 3. And that's a very, very noble thing to do. It's going to be the same thing for Gears 4. It's almost like more interesting because there's a lot more elements to it, such as, unfortunately we have like the scrapping and the crafting and the loot crates and all that stuff. And now we're going to have this weird transition again to Gears 5. We don't know anything about how you're going to unlock things and how things are going to be working. Hopefully it's all like done by challenges. But it's like the first time that, the support has ended and now people are going to get ready for Gears 5. And once Gears 5 comes out, Gears 4 will, kind of not cease to exist, but it will be there primarily to play some campaign, maybe some Horde if you get nostalgic, because I know there's going to be people that are going to be Gears 4 nostalgic, because for some weird reason, there's that weird aspect of where when the new Gears, like Gears 5 will come out and people will be blasted in Gears 5, like, man, this sucks, this is anything like Gears 4 reversed 3 years ago, and they said the exact same thing about Gears 4, like, this sucks, why isn't it like Gears 3 and how the hit detection works? And at the same you keep going back and back and back until Gears 1, or for some reason someone played like a very early copy of Gears 1 multiplayer, like, oh, this sucks, it isn't like Unreal Tournament. But it's one of those nice little things that, it's almost like the nice natural course of life. Like, everything lives and everything dies. It's like a sad thought to think about because, Gears of War 4, as much as I've played it and I've had a lot of happy memories with it, I'm interested to see what's going forward into the future. Same as with, like, going back in the past, like, playing Gears 2 and 3. Gears 3, every time I try to play it now, it's like, sometimes you can't go home again. Because that game, like how the screen shakes and how it's 30 frames, I always get like a migraine playing it. If anyone's ever played it recently, have you guys gotten migraines? Because that's just how I think, and it's just hard. Maybe there's, I always think of optimistic things, such as how the Master Chief Collection is now going to PC. Maybe Gears of War might be coming to PC. Maybe there might be a new breath of life. I mean, we've seen that before with like games becoming nostalgic, with like the Crash Bandicoot collection as well as the Spyro collection, getting reamped and getting all this stuff. Even Gears 1, we got UE, which is a phenomenal game, and I'd love to see something like that in more aspects. Like, I'd love to see Gears 2, even though I think it's impossible. I think, if I remember correctly, there's something with like they can't really work with the engine, or something's like really buggy with the coding because they pretty much take that and then they just slap new paint on it. But I guess it's something that's like don't know much about coding, but someone told me something about it. When in doubt, we have, Gilded ROM, and we have Gears 5 coming around, and we're going to have a new revitalization of Gears, much as like how every time there was always a new Star Wars movie, all the merchandise comes out, all the things popping up, and we gotta have like a weird family reunion, because I'm excited for Gears 5, because that means my friends who I haven't talked to in a while, we get on for like a week, we play, we have some laughs, we have some cries, and then, Gears 5 runs its course until Gears of War 6 or Gears of War Tactics or Gears of War 5.2 or whatever comes next. It's one of those touching things where, you can finally, like, lay a chapter down. Like, my life actually revolves around kind of, like, my chapters are Gears 2, my life in that, Gears 3, my life around that. Gears 4 was a little bit of, like, a weird patchy period because I was still, like, adjusting to college and I was doing all these things. But I still have, like, fond memories of Gears 4. And Gears Judgment, and Gears 3, and Gears 2. But it's not the end, because, we'll meet again. I kind of want to, like, end this off by reading the posts they had about the new content for Gears 4, because I think it's actually a really nice thing, and maybe we could talk about the future a little bit, rather than talking about the cycling down of Gears 4. The time has come to say goodbye to the new customization content in Gears packs in Gears 4, as the team shifts their full focus into making Gears 5 the best possible game. The end of this road marks the most content released in any Gears game in the series' history, with 269 characters and over 2,384 weapon skins added over the past 2.5 years. We've introduced new favorites, Sweater Imago, filled 10 years of fan requests such as the Palace Guard, and learned a lot along the way. Maybe no more Color Blast. We hope you've enjoyed the ride. That said, we know some of your favorites and ours didn't make the cut before the end. We want you to know that even though it didn't get a chance to appear in Gears 4, we have your feedback loud and clear on which characters you'd like to see return in the future. Now let's take like a moment to kind of talk about what is probably going to happen in the future, because there's a lot of characters that I want to see. Obviously, I want to see Bernie return as a multiplayer character. Obviously, Onyx Guard has been a big fan request, as well as I personally, like, this is me, I really want to get the Bolter from Gears 2. Technically, it's in Gears 2 as a multiplayer character. In the original test footage for the multiplayer, he was a character you could play as. He had this cool helmet on, but I guess like the weird dodgy thing about like his hitbox or something. Same as with the Palace Guard. Pretty much they fixed it with the Palace Guard. So let's see what happens next. Same as with Armored Cantus. You know, sometimes the weird hitbox things. Now that there's, I guess I'm doing quotation marks, a universal hitbox, we can have weird funky characters. Same as with, I'd love to see Farmer Dom from Gears 3 make an appearance finally. For me, I want to see Bytok in Gears finally. We've got Alex Brand in Judgment. Maybe she could make a return. Like, those are the things I'd love to see. Or things from the Gears UE that I'd love to be incorporated back into Gears, or be in a way where it's fully fleshed out. Obviously, there's other things like Jace, even though I don't think the Coalition has Michael B. Jordan money anymore, because, they had Jace originally was played by Nolan North in Gears 2, and then he was supposed to be played by Drake in Gears 3, but he had to drop out because of scheduling errors. And then they got Michael B. Jordan. So pretty much Jace has just been like this weird, every person can voice him. Hopefully, if we're going to see him, we're probably not going to get Michael B. Jordan voice, because maybe they have Michael B. Jordan money. I mean, I'm sure all that money from the Black Steel characters goes back into the Michael B. Jordan fund for getting him to be in Gears 4 or Gears 5 or whatever they tried to get him for. I mean, we got Ice-T money. Why not Michael B. Jordan money? Who knows? But again, that's something for another day we'll talk about. But I wanted to kind of touch upon, the end of a life cycle for Gears, because it's one of those sad things that ends up happening, but it's like a natural course of life, such as like, person living to a ripe old age and then bowing out peacefully. Even though Gears of War 4 had kind of a swan song a little bit, because I thought the idea of having like the NCOG and then finally having like a helmetless Theron and having small things and ending with Gilded Rom, it kind of ends on a high note rather than having something like color blasted ROM, or every character gets a color blasted variant. Like, that would have been like wah wah wah. But thank you guys, and hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you need. Please tell me, what are your favorite memories from Gears 4, and like what are the sad things you're gonna miss? Because we haven't gotten any multiplayer stuff yet, but it's coming soon, hopefully. We'll find out. Well, I'm Zach, and keep those gears turning.